maybe, and this is just a maybe, if our players, I know it's a crazy idea and concept, maybe if our players wanted to play football more than they wanted to trash talk and run their freaking mouths against Vanderbilt, we wouldn't be in this situation. But no, we want to trash talk because we got this big ego because we beat Georgia. We're the best. We just show up and you bow down to us. We're NIL millionaires. All right, there we go. What's going on, everybody? I don't want to make this an extremely long video. However, we haven't done the post-game analysis for the Alabama-Vandy game. As we know, well, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you probably saw the live reaction. Kind of lost my cool a little bit. Yeah. Show you all the damage to the whiteboard. Not even sure if y'all can tell. Right above, here I'll draw an arrow to it. I mean, might need a new whiteboard. Not too sure how much that's going to affect it. Still works. It's right above that arrow. See a little, yeah. Put a nice little dent in it. And there's some other, it's actually dinged up a little up here, but that's like the noticeable one. Not my proudest moment on YouTube. Not very professional, but you know, that's it's my raw reaction. It is what it is. And yeah, we lost to Vandy, bro. It's now been about what is it, roughly 5, 6, 7 hours after the game. Had some time to really process it. And when I say have some time to process it, I've had some time to sit in the office and stare at a dark wall. I mean, I've been watching something. Like, I have watched the Tennessee game and stuff, but seriously, like, I've had these games on, but it's just like I'm staring at the TV and not even really paying attention outside the live reaction vid to Tennessee. I'm just, and I apologize to you guys because it's not fair, because it's not like I always say I'm a college football fan first, then an Alabama fan, which I am, but I'm just so distraught after the Alabama game. I'm just keeping it 100% honest, trying to be as transparent as possible. Sorry, I'm mixing my words a little bit. I've never had to deal with a loss like this as an Alabama fan. You know, losing to Michigan last year is whatever. Lose to A&M a few years ago. They have a good team. But Vandy, I don't want to discredit them, and I've been going back and forth with myself. I've talked to one of my good buddies, shout out to you, you know who you are, about it. I don't want to sit up here and say, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if you get up here and say in your post-game analysis, well, hey, give credit to Vandy, they're better than what you think, I think some of you are going to view it as, oh, come on, Matt, you're making excuses for Bama. But it's a genuine question. I'm asking you, do you think it's a situation where maybe Vanderbilt's not that bad? And I know, hey, I said they sucked. I'm not backing away from that, standing 10 toes down on that. I'm saying, do we now start talking about, well, Vandy ain't as bad as we think they are? Because, yeah, they have 2 losses. Lost to Georgia State. That's just awful. But they only lost to Missouri by 3. But then you go back and forth with, oh, well, Missouri got blown out by A&M. But, you know, different matchups. I think I'm coming to the executive decision that Vanderbilt's not as bad as they've been in the past 9 or 10 years. The past 9 or 10 years, they've just been a complete pushover. Maybe they're not pushover, and let me do this. I didn't even do it in the video. Congratulations to Vanderbilt. Congratulations. You won. And this is what's really got me in distraught, and I'm still trying to figure out some things, and I'll watch film tomorrow. Vanderbilt was the better team in this game. It wasn't a fluky win. Vanderbilt was better than us. They was better than Alabama. Think about that. In the Saban era, look at all the losses he's had. Maybe 1 or 2 of those, the other team was just better. Like Clemson, and what was that year where they blew us out 44-16? Was that 2018? Yeah, Clemson in 2018. They were just better than us. And a couple other games here and there. But for the most part, every time Saban lost, it was some fluky play. The opposing team's quarterback played out of his mind. We had self-inflicted wounds with 5 turnovers like we did against Ole Miss when they had Chad Kelly. Something like that. And I know we had some turnovers a day. But overall, Vanderbilt just whooped our butts. They were the better team. The best team in this game won. So if you're an Alabama fan, there's no like, oh, well, this, you can't really point to anything. Yeah, the refs made a couple questionable calls, but really there's nothing you can point to. There's no excuses. And I'm not trying to make excuses. But I do want to start this video by giving credit to Vanderbilt. And I'll clap it up again. Heck of a win. Heck of a win. We're going to point the whiteboard and not... Well, I'm not going to promise I'm not going to do anything, but I think I'm a little more collected now. We're going to use it for a good use, write down some of these stats and numbers. Where do I want to begin with this? Number one, we started out the game terrible. And I knew from that first drive, we was in for a rude awakening. I didn't think we were going to lose after the first drive. But Vanderbilt, they didn't have some 50-yard pass play, 75-yard touchdown run. No, they just methodically moved the ball down the field. 5-yard run, 10-yard run, 8-yard pass, play action. And I'm watching it like, what? Vanderbilt. But I told myself, it's just a fluky first drive. We're not ready. And even at halftime, although I was concerned, and there's videos of this on the channel, I still thought our players would wake up. But they didn't. And that first drive said a lot because Vanderbilt just pushing us around. I mean, what are we doing? And it goes back to this. Give credit to Vanderbilt, but is this a thing where... Okay, let's talk about this real quick. I think parity is starting to come back to college football. Because for years, there was really none. You had 2 to 3, maybe 4 great teams, and the rest were the rest. They weren't going to compete. But I think what's happening is your great teams, and we're seeing it tonight. Tennessee lost, Miami, they might lose. They're losing as when I'm making this video. I'll probably try to do a live reaction to that game. Your great teams aren't that much better than the bad teams, and the bad teams aren't as bad as they used to be. Maybe that's a video for a different day. We make it during the week. Let me know your thoughts on that. But I don't think Vanderbilt's a pushover anymore. Because our guys, I mean, you just look at them. And during the game, I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, dude, we are bigger, faster, and stronger than these guys, but we can't bully them. Maybe they're just not that bad anymore. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. We'll see as the season continues to go on. I still think Vanderbilt's a good football team, but they played their A+ game, and when you're Alabama or anybody, you're top 5 team in the nation, and you're playing a team that already has 2 losses, 3 losses, you're going to get their best shot. It's their Super Bowl. Same thing for Tennessee. You got Arkansas's best shot. It was their Super Bowl. But what drives me crazy in this game is our defense. How do we give up a 40-burger to Vandy? Kane Womack. Come on, man. I'm not even mad. I'm not going to scream. I'm just disappointed. How do we not switch things up? Why are we not bringing the pressure? Ever since the first half against Georgia, we haven't brought the blitz any. We let Pavia, my apologies if I'm saying his name wrong, just sit back there and have all day, and then they killed us on the read options. And the thing with Vandy is they ran the same 10 plays over and over and over and over and over. It wasn't like they were running crazy trick plays. They weren't. They just ran their normal plays, and we couldn't beat them. We couldn't stop them. Offense, I'm not even going to talk about our offense. Our offense is great, one of the best in the nation. Offense is fine. Milroe, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. I actually saw people hating on him on Twitter. What in the world is that about? Milroe played fine. He only had like 6 incompletions. He had the fumble, not his fault. It was a blindside hit. Good play by the defender. Offensive tackle got beat, or offensive lineman got beat. And the interception, tip ball. Wasn't even that bad of a pass. Tipped up in the air, is what it is. But here's the thing with the interception. It really didn't matter because that was 3rd down. So we were going to have to punt the ball anyways. And we weren't going to stop them. It didn't matter if they had the ball at their 10, our 10, midfield, wherever. They're marching down our defense. Defense is why we lost. I mean, I don't feel like you got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. But on Twitter, apparently, the offense is why we lost. At least they think that's the reason. Offense had nothing to do with it. It's a defense. But let's pull out some of these stats. Shall we? Let me pull this where you can see it. Pavia. 16 for 20. 252 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Excellent. Played the game of his life. But here's the kicker. Here's his QBR. One of the best QBRs you're ever going to see. I'll draw an arrow. 96 on the dot. Out of 100. QBR is based on a scale of 1 to 100, 50 being average. Milroe, as you can see over here, 18 for 24, only 16 completions, 310 yards, so pass more than I keep saying I want to say Pavia, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. 1 touchdown, 1 INT. Interception, whatever. Say it's his fault, but it doesn't matter. Still played a great game outside of that. His QBR, not the greatest, but still fine. Also, Milroe had 1 rushing touchdown. His QBR was 78 on the dot. 78. But here is why Vanderbilt won the game. Let me pull up this stat. Third down conversion. Alabama only had 7 third downs. And on third downs, we'll do it right here. Alabama got 3 out of those 7. That's pretty good compared to your national average, like 40-something%. Vanderbilt got, and we'll go, I'll write theirs down because it's important. Third downs, right here. This is insane. And I thought this Alabama defense was really good, by the way. I mean, they're not anymore. I'm just saying heading into the season. And even after the Wisconsin game, I thought they were really good. I'm having to do a double take. Why? It's even worse than what I thought. 12 for 18. Circle it, do whatever you want. 12 for 18. See that? Unacceptable. And it goes back to the Georgia game. Against Georgia, was actually pretty good on third down, but here's the problem. They were losing, so they had to go for it on fourth down, and we couldn't stop them. Georgia on fourth down against us, was either 6 for 6 or 5 for 6. 5 for 5. They won 100%. And it's not like they got 2 or 3. They were 5 for 5 or 6 for 6, either one. 12 for 18. We couldn't get off the field. And they milked the clock, and kudos to them. But even if they didn't want to milk the clock, we weren't going to stop them regardless. So, doesn't matter at all. And here's what drives me insane. Okay, let me back this whiteboard up. Our players are too busy and focused on wanting to fight. I even heard it as soon as I turned the game on before they're kicking off. They were saying, oh yeah, the Alabama and Vanderbilt players are getting in a scuffle before the game. And all game long, that's all I saw. Is Malachi Moore, Keon Sabb, all the defensive backs running their mouths. There was one instance where we got to stop. We're losing, by the way, like 23-7. Malachi Moore runs all the way across the field to go trash talk because we got one stop. And it was like second or, I don't even think it was third down, it was second down. What is happening to the team I love? A Nick Saban-led team never does that. That ain't Alabama football. Why are we trash? This is like, okay, let me put this into perspective for you. Us trash talking Vanderbilt is the equivalent to the varsity basketball team trash talking the middle school basketball team. Not even JV, middle school. You're supposed to beat them. It's a business trip. When Saban was there, this was called a business trip. Take care of business, win, get out of there. No injuries, no arguments, no unsportsmanlike. Just play football. That was one thing I loved about Saban-led teams and former Alabama teams, is we didn't get any unsportsmanlike penalties. We never ran our mouths. Even the guys that were like crazy and wanted to run their mouths didn't because they feared Saban. These players don't fear the board, and that's a problem in a different video for a different day. They don't fear the board, so they don't fear consequences. And that results in players doing whatever they want. And they got all this NIL money. They think they're the next best thing since sliced bread. They think they're this, think they're that. They come out with a big win against Georgia. I get it. But you go out here and get a piece of humble pie. And it's embarrassing. I don't know how the players, I'm embarrassed for y'all. I couldn't imagine being y'all. Running your mouths against Vanderbilt. Y'all wanted to fight and run your mouths more than you wanted to play football. And that's what drives me insane. Heck, I wouldn't be too mad if you was out there making plays and running your mouth. We're losing. Vanderbilt's going up and down the field and you got the nerve to taunt them and run your mouth to them? They're cooking you. I'm talking to you, Keon Sabb, Malachi Moore, and all the DBs. They were cooking you. You had no room to even talk. None. And even if you're up by 30, you still have no room to talk because we're above that. We're Alabama. We're not Mississippi State. We're not Ole Miss. We're Alabama. Why are you trash talking Vandy? It's like the middle school basketball team. And I don't mean that as disrespect, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Vandy's a bottom feeder, man. And we was doing it against Georgia. And I can overlook that, I guess. I still don't like it, but I guess I can overlook it because it's Georgia. 2 top 5 teams. We was doing it against Wisconsin. I didn't like it in any other games. Don't like it now. I just hope this is the last time I have to address the players talking crap. I just hate when players want to talk crap more than you want to play the game. Play the game, dude. DeBoer is losing control of this team. Here's the difference. With Saban, it wasn't a democracy. It was a dictatorship. Okay? Now it's a democracy. It's not a dictatorship anymore. These players respect Kalen DeBoer. I believe they do. But they don't fear him, and that's the problem. You need to fear him. And you can say what you want about Urban Meyer, but that was a guy, shady guy off the field, but those players feared Urban Meyer. Those players feared Nick Saban. And in the SEC, that's a coach you got to have. Those players fear Kirby Smart. They respect DeBoer. They respect Billy Napier. They respect whoever else you want to name off. But these players, they do not fear DeBoer. And that is a problem. There's a lot of problems with this team internally. It's not a talent issue. We got the talent. And that's what's even scarier about it, because we got all the talent in the world and we lost to Vanderbilt. Just frustrating, man. So frustrating. You can't even say enough how embarrassing it is. 12 for 18 on third downs. Kane Womack, are you going to switch up the defense or continue? Oh, let me ask you a question. You know what the definition of insane is, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. That's what Kane Womack did today. And he's done it all year long. Didn't second half against Georgia. Did the same play over and over and over and expected a different result. Beyond frustrating. And maybe, and this is just a maybe, if our players, I know it's a crazy idea and concept, maybe if our players wanted to play football more than they wanted to trash talk and run their freaking mouths against Vanderbilt, we wouldn't be in this situation. But no, we want to trash talk because we got this big ego because we beat Georgia. We're the best. We just show up and you bow down to us. We're NIL millionaires. Oh my gosh. Vanderbilt. Let that sink in. Vanderbilt. It would be embarrassing for Florida to lose to Vanderbilt. And we're the number 1 team in the nation and lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. It was a home game too. That stadium had 10% Vandy fans. I feel bad for the Bama fans that paid good money to go to that. Dude, this whiteboard might not make it through the year. I'm not playing. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired, dude. I'm sick and tired of this team. And I told y'all. Remember in week 1 when we won 63-0 and I lit them up in that video? Y'all remember it if you're watching this? And I lit them up. I broke the eraser. Great. Dude. Whatever. Like I was saying. I lit them up, and what did y'all tell me? Matt, relax. You won 63-0. It's not about that. I told y'all all them little mistakes we made against Western Kentucky was going to come back to bite us in the butt. And what happened? Oh, came back to bite us in the butt. But Matt's crazy, right? Yeah. Well, y'all probably think I'm crazy because of all this, but this is... At least I have passion, bro. I got more passion than them players. What they showed today. And that coaching staff, dude. That's a coaching staff debacle. Losing to Vandy. This season ain't looking good, bro. This ain't like, I got a feeling this ain't like a couple years ago in 2021 when we lost to Texas A&M. Everybody's bringing that up too on Twitter. Oh, well, Matt, Alabama lost to A&M. They was unranked 41-38. Yeah, but here's the difference with that. A&M had the talent to compete with us. Vanderbilt doesn't. Vanderbilt don't have the talent to compete with Bama, and we lost to them. But not only that, we didn't look good all year long, except for one game, Wisconsin. We looked outstanding against Georgia for one half. The other half, not so much. We've only looked good for one entire game. This year ain't looking good, bro. Dude, I gotta end this video. I'm tired. I'm going to bed, dude. Well, I gotta wait for this to upload, but... I don't know. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.